So basically, I did my engineering in MIT Crumpet. So I was an aeronautical engineer.
Whether you started this simulation within GTR itself or in the second company. Now, what was your role in Honeywell, then Siemens and Mercedes-Benz, and what you are doing at Modlar?
I think difficulties and problems give you avenues to learn. So that is where I started. So then in my career, I slowly started going into system simulation. That was an interesting aspect. It is an hydromechanical system. So designing
from fuel bowsers to
exactly from the fuel tanks.
Okay.
You take the fuel and you need to supply it at the right amount and at the right pressure.
Coming back to your GTRE time, so tell me how you got the offer and what you are doing there, and then to Honeywell, to Siemens, to Mercedes-Benz, then Model. So can you let's share some technical aspects of what you are doing.
Sure.
And coming finally, let the audience understand what Model is all about.
Sure. Yeah. So basically, I did my engineering in MIT Crumpet. So I was an aeronautical engineer. Okay. So what happens in MIT is they choose the top 4 and they get a scholarship from DRDO. So right from the first year.
Oh.
So I was a DRDO scholar.
Oh, that's
So these scholars, they get opportunity to work in DRDO. So that is how I was placed in DRDO. Again, luckily I was in GTRE where we were trying to develop the first gas turbine engine.
Kaveri, right?
Exactly, the Kaveri engine for LCA, the light combat aircraft.
It's eternal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think there are a lot of things to learn from a place like DRDO or GTRE, irrespective of the final outcome, the kind of technology, the kind of difficulties, right? I think difficulties and problems give you avenues to learn. So that is where I started, and particularly in GTRE, I was attached to fuel control systems group. So this group, basically we were trying to supply fuel to the gas turbine engine at the right pressure levels.
Okay.
So it is an hydromechanical system. So designing
from fuel bowsers to
exactly from the fuel tanks.
Okay.
You take the fuel and you need to supply it at the right amount and at the right pressure. So many valves, pumps, all these things are involved. So I was working there. So there the good thing is the same person gets to do everything. So one day you need to look at the design of the system. Another day you go to rig and run the tests, right? Design the control system. So it gave a very nice overview on system development. So how do you develop a system? How do you test a system? How do you qualify a system? So it involved, I think, work. I mean, as like you go to the lab, you work with workers, get things done. Started from there, but technically it was more like systems understanding, systems thinking. So system simulation was involved and controls was involved. So then in my career, I slowly started going into system simulation. That was an interesting aspect because even before you realize a system, so you dream a system, so you can actually realize it in software, right? So that makes your designs more effective. It cuts down a lot of time. You can avoid experiments because you can do it in the computers. So then I got interested and I moved in that direction. So yeah.
So then you whether you started this simulation within GTR itself or in the second company?
So in GTRE, it was a part of my work. So I was doing 3 or 4 things and simulation was one part.
Because anyway you have to design and simulate.
Exactly. So,
okay. So right now, what was your role in Honeywell, then Siemens and Mercedes-Benz, and what you are doing at Modlar?
Yeah. So naturally, what happens is over a period of time. So when you move from one place to another, so you from an engineer you become a senior engineer, technical lead. So I also went through the same process. So when I was in Honeywell, I was a senior engineer. So there again, luckily Honeywell was an aerospace company, and I was able to work on the very similar fuel systems, but for commercial aircrafts. Okay. So Honeywell was supplying engines for commercial aircraft. So I used to, they were supplying for both Airbus as well as Boeing. So I was working there on that topic, and that It was in the year 2003 actually. So that is when technical work getting outsourced to India has just started.
Okay.
So there were a lot of unknowns and hiccups and other things. So I was not able to take that. I was so young and I wanted to be quick with everything. So basically I moved from there and moved into an R&D company. So Mercedes-Benz R&D.
Okay.
So there you are not put through the rigors of commercialization. There is no deadline, long deadlines, but the technology was simply awesome. So I used to work on, you won't believe, in 2004 I was working on fuel cells.
Wow.
So Mercedes-Benz has such a futuristic thinking. So I ended up making, I was working on PMFC fuel cells, modeling them, simulations and other things. So I would say there again, from an engineer, maybe as a researcher. So there the role was a research role. So I slowly became a researcher. So what has happened is I started in GTRE as a systems engineer, then focusing on, simulation, then how do you do research. So from there, then slowly I wanted to try out many things. So I was restricting myself to aerospace. So that is when I thought it is not good. So maybe we should, because system simulation is very generic. If you apply it to an aerospace system, you can apply it to any system. So from there, I moved to an automotive company. So that was a company called MSK. Later, it got taken over by LMS, which is a Belgium company. Finally, this got taken over by Siemens. So that is why I say I moved to Siemens.
Okay.
But it had, this metamorphosis. So there in Siemens, the good thing was I was able to pick a lot of fundamentals on the simulation technology itself, like how it evolves, what is open source.
Because as you know, Siemens is already a software maker as well.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
like, it's not that you can go and buy, they make softwares.
Exactly.
So
exactly. There you learn the process.
Yes.
So a software, when you are trying to see services, you only define your service, right? So somebody wants to get things done, you do it, you say like, yeah, I have done it, and it ends there. Whereas product, I have a fundamental that product has to stand for itself for so many years.
Yes.
So any code or any algorithm that you put inside into a product, so we call it productification. So it has to stand for itself.
Yes.
So that rigor came during the Siemens experience, because there they have a lot of processes. Yes. So how do you create a feature? So how many people are involved? So this whole process of converting your ideas through software into a product. So that is something that I picked up there.
Okay, got it. So in Siemens, what was your role then?
Yeah, in Siemens, basically I was trying to lead a team, so a team of engineers. So that is where some amount of leadership also built in, how to work with people. So engineers, the biggest problem is we can work with math, we can work with physics, but we cannot work with people.
Yeah, that's very tough.
Right? So I kind of picked up my people skills at Siemens because you have a team. So I was trying to do global projects using the Indian team. So that was my role there in Siemens.